yours. This is the Underground Railroad TV show. It's yours, the same shining sun. This is America. And we have many problems dealing with globalization and a new world order system. Whether you live in New York, Chicago, or California, there are problems that are going on with globalization. And my guest is going to explain what globalization is. And he's going to introduce himself. And I want to thank you for considering to be on Underground Railroad TV show on YouTube.
Well, thank you, Cliff. And my name is
Shalom.
Shalom to America. I am sorry, Yakiskaye Ben Israel of the Hebrew Israelite Nation, the Royal Prince of the House of Israel. And it is a pleasure to be on your show.
You know, there are people that are looking at this all over the globe because you know that YouTube is a giant community. They're listening in the UK, Africa, Asia, Central America. And they may not even know what globalization means. What does that mean to the average person? Globalization.
Well, globalization is a concept where everyone is a part of this global economy and this global society. That's why YouTube and Facebook became so popular, because it encompasses the whole globe. Anyone from the smallest part of the world can become a member of the large community by just putting their face up in the World Wide Web.
And you know, what is the danger of all of these social networks like YouTube, Google's, Yahoo, and us volunteering information? Are we being profiled?
Yes, we've been constantly profiled, constantly evaluated, and constantly critiqued by ourselves and by the government at large. Because anything that you do, even your show with the Underground Railroad,
Yes.
is being highly watched and infiltrated.
Now, the danger, some people, what does the New World Order system mean? The New World Order system.
Well,
I could bring up names like the Oppenheimers, the Beers, the Rockefellers. What does that mean to you? And what should it mean to the average citizen who has a Patriots Act whose rights are being stripped away from him? It's almost superseding the Constitution.
well, the New World Order is an old world order with a new name. The military-industrial complex, which has now created perpetual war, which will now keep us in such a state that we will never be able to look for peace. We are supposed to be a peace-loving people who are inclined to always search out and be peaceful. If we are considered ourselves Christians, Muslims, or Hebrews, or Buddhists, we are supposed to be seeking peace.
And again, with the New World Order system, there is a section in the Obamacare Act that is so small, but it says that they will eventually want you to put a RIF chip, a computer chip, in your finger. And the pretext for this is, if you get knocked out, if you get hurt, we'll be able to get your vital signs if you're diabetic or something like that. What do you think about that? And do you think that's a good idea?
Well, this government has always tried to find a way to monitor you. They have you having GPS. On your phones, you have satellite systems where they can keep monitoring you. They monitor your Facebook pages. They monitor your emails. They monitor your phone conversations. So this is only a natural progression of their state and global power to try to continually monitor you, because the chip may have a on and off switch. The ultimate New World Order is population control.
I want to ask you a hypothetical question. If this is imposed, I'm pretty sure this will go to the Supreme Court. If this is imposed on you, people in your organization, my organization, could not make business transactions, could not go to the store, could not buy houses. If this is imposed, would you accept that?
No man.
If this, and you was gonna lose your job if you walked to your job and they told you you do not have this imposed on you. You lose your job.
Well, hopefully no man in his rightful mind would accept being forced into slavery. That's what it amounts to. But this is the same thing they've done since the beginning of this experiment called America. They kicked us out of Europe, but during the time while we were in Europe, they put patches on us so that they could identify who we were, what nationality we were, if we were not Christians, if we were being Hebrews. They made sure they marked us so that they know, so we couldn't participate in the economy as they have it set up.
Would you submit to this interior?
No, I would not.
You walked into your job and they told you you could not make major purchases. You can't go to the bank unless you put something in your index finger to identify.
No, as a logical man, I would submit to it. Nor would any logical man that I know. It is an offense against nature. The Most High has told us that do not accept the mark of the beast. Now, we already accept it in different forms because it's in our credit cards. It is in our currency. So we have to understand that the limitation is the possession of your sovereign self.
Brother, do you have any feelings about Monsanto's? Now, they genetically create seeds. In certain parts of Africa, they tell you cannot grow anything unless you're using these seeds that are genetically created by Monsanto.
Yes, Monsanto, they have actually gotten patents for seeds that they've genetically altered. Mm-hmm. That's where a lot of this Roundup came from. They have seeds that cannot fight Roundup, are immune to Roundup. But they also created the Roundup, which was to Roundup. But they also created the Roundup, which was an insecticide to kill off insects. However, we in the natural community like to grow our own seeds and distribute our own seeds. And it's a large movement on different networks like Blink TV and Free Speech TV and these shows, Democracy Now! And things like that have, I have a favorite show called Meet the Farmer. And we should all meet the farmers in our community. We should all be growing urban gardens, because when the first thing they would do is cut off your food supply and starve you out. Because the New World Order, after all, is population control.
Well, what do you say to the farmer that is dealing with interior in Africa, perhaps in the Middle East one day, and they say they will not allow us? We don't have the fortitude to stop them, and they have imposed this. What do you say to them?
It is our fault here for not being the resource for him there. If we were into Pan-Africanism, as we are supposed to be, Martin talked about it, Malcolm talked about it, Marcus Garvey spoke about it, but we have failed to act upon it because our self-inflicted leaders by the government who have put them in place, they say everything is okay.
Well, what can you say on this film that could help them out right now? There's somebody with these powers have been imposed on them, and somebody's looking at you saying, "Yeah, what can be done now?"
I can say this: in India right now, an average of 5 men commit suicide every day. 5 farmers, because they have taken the Monsanto seed. And the Monsanto seed continually comes back year after year. But if you don't pay for their seed, they sue you, take you to court, and take your farms away. or if a bad crop comes up, you lose your farm. So these men are committing suicide because the crop is a bad crop and the seed is a bad seed. You have to professionally buy the seed every year. So you want to stay as nature conscious as possible.
But I guess what I'm asking you is, brother, this is imposed on them right now, and they're dealing with tyrannical forces. What advice do you give them? What instructions would you give them?
I would advise them to save their seeds. The Monsanto seed is so powerful that when it blows in the wind in Mexico, the clean crops that they have, it contaminates. So if you don't have a seed of your own, not this, what the World Health Organization sent to them, giving them seedless watermelons, which is a man-made product, and you can't take the seeds from the seedless watermelon and grow another watermelon. You have to go back to the source to get more food. You have to have your own seeds so you can grow your own crops. If it's forced upon you, a man can't help what's forced upon him. We had slavery enforced upon us. But we said, many men say death before dishonor. Well, some men said, I will submit.
Now there's a presidential election coming up. Hillary Clinton appears to be the front runner for the Democrats. Republicans, who knows, it might be Bush or Rubio. Does it make a difference in a new world order system? Your next president is, does a revolution take place every 4 years? And puppeteers are in the background still controlling. I could bring out some names.
Well, first and foremost, it is ridiculous for it to be 41 million black men and women, or men of African, women of African descent, and not have a party of their own. My personal candidate would be Bernie Madoff, someone who is politically astute and a maverick of his own. He's not sold into the system that he is a part of. He speaks independently of it. He includes others into it, and he has a clear vision of what the problem is.
Well, let me ask you something. Even if you was to get in office, I could bring up names like the Oppenheimers, the De Beers, the Warren Buffetts. There's a shadow government that controls this whole system. You saying that? Do you agree with that or disagree that there's a shadow government?
And I agree. There's a shadow government. It's overt. It's not shadow anymore. Okay. When they come, when you have a 99% marching in New York saying, listen, we have to stop the 1% from taking over completely our society and make our society work for the people. And they send the police in, and they're sending the police in all over the world to police the people, to keep them from speaking up for righteousness. Then it's not overt anymore. It's covert. It's clear and apparent that everyone is being oppressed, and they have no fear that anything will change.
So when you saying Murdoch, the individual that you talk about can get through all that red tape.
I'm saying a progressive candidate who has people who galvanize behind him can move this world into a righteous path.
So Hillary Clinton, even if she wins, even if they change the law, and Obama wins again, there's still a shadow government that controls it.
Well, Hillary, Obama, Bush, Democrat, Republican, they are the flip side of the same coin. They have not changed anything while they're in. Their constant discussion is jobs, and nonsense. And nonsense. It's nonsense. It has nothing to do with solving. There's no discussion about the poor. Why is this the richest country in the world, and there are still poor people in this world? Why is it we don't have national health care for everyone, where no one gets sick? And no, we don't have. Obamacare is not national health care. National health care would eliminate these doctors having these $1 million paychecks and going from place to place getting prescriptions from these pharmaceuticals. We have to have a national health care where everyone is covered, and it evens the playing field. Doctors get a set amount. We have to have an even playing field for everyone. The nurses wanted national health care. We took Obamacare, which is not even Obamacare. We took a healthcare system that was already working in Maryland, but it's not the national healthcare system which other progressive countries have. France has a national healthcare system. Britain has a national healthcare system. Canada has a national healthcare system. Anybody can go in a hospital and get any operation they want, get anything done, and it's covered by the nation. And it's not more expensive than any other system.
I remember what happened in Katrina with Fidel Castro, doctors, and he was denied. Did you have a feeling on that?
Well, America will not look small as she is by letting others help us, and we're supposed to be the big giant, and we're supposed to be the big giant on the shores. But it was a great statement that was made by Kanye West, and it was an honest statement that the president at that time did not care for black people. And when you see black men getting shot down every day,
Yes.
the New World Order is in full effect. Population control is happening as we speak.
Let me ask you something, brother. As we talk about that, we have more cameras that have been inundated in this society. We have FEMA camps that are set up. Do the powers to be wanted to be disorder and chaos in the society so they can round them up and take them to the FEMA camps?
Well, the powers to be already have you in the FEMA camps.
Matrix.
You don't make a move without them knowing about it. You don't have every decision that you make is being monitored. You don't have to worry about these cameras that they set up all through the park. They got satellites that watch you. If your voice becomes too loud, they have a system that they already instilled to say, listen, COINTELPRO.
What do you think about these diabolical people that have set up FEMA camps? I've seen them on YouTube, FEMA camps that are set up and they want disruption and chaos, as Malcolm X said, to be the disorder, the order of the day. What do you think about this?
It is our own fault. As a people, we have fallen upon a curse and refused to wake up. We have now been put under a good spell that they call the gospel, a spell that has never worked for our people or any people. They tell us to take this oppression and turn the other cheek. While the Most High tells us, he says, if someone harms you, you are supposed to return the favor. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
You don't do what Martin Luther King did.
Martin Luther King even had he followed Gandhi, but he had a resource that if it didn't work, we will have to defend ourselves. Malcolm said, listen, by any means necessary. It frightened the European, but it was only what any civilized person would do. No person let someone else attack them without having a recourse.
So it's all about the right mind, all about the right mind that people come together. But brother, as we talk, do you believe that the world is going to get better? And the reason I ask you this is because Yamakiyama in the book of Revelation says that you're going to see more chaos in this world. I don't know what the Torah says. So do you think it's going to get better? I these revelations wrong.
If better is coming, I haven't seen it. For the time I've been on this planet, it has constantly got worse. Now we have a society that is totally immoral. It is. We have in the Torah we have Deuteronomy 27:28, where it tells you why we got caught under this curse. It forbids homosexuality. However, it is now discussion amongst the rabbis to whether this is acceptable. Where the Torah, the law says this is an unacceptable act. Now I'm supposed to accept a man lying with a man or kissing another man and acting like he's a woman in front of my children as if this is normal. These are immoral acts, and these are not natural. When people say that I was born, I'm a woman, you're a man, but you were born a woman, God doesn't make mistakes. Yahweh has never made a mistake. And for them to assume that or claim that, they are only acting on their own personal self-fulfillment.
You want to tell where your organization is located at and give the telephone number?
I am Light Nation.
Okay.
It is, one of our locations is at 3100 East 71st Street at the Hebrew Israelite Cultural Center in Chicago, Illinois. And Rabbi Hodges is a pioneer in Hebrew Israelite Nation. I am Sar. Rabbi Obadiah Ben Israel is the leadership chair. We have 7 chairs. We have leadership, economics, health, education. Sar is myself. And we are focused on gathering the Hebrew Israelite Nation together and putting them on the map and in the direction of fulfilling the covenant of Most High Yahweh.
Are you associated with Brother Bowie?
I am associated with every Hebrew Israelite in the world because we are the Hebrew Israelite Nation. Okay. And so they are all a part of the Hebrew Israelite Nation.
They have a movement to go back to Israel? Why am I getting it?
Well, it is the purpose of every Hebrew that is African American in this diaspora who is lost and who doesn't know who he is. Because we come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as Marcus Garvey, Malcolm would all tell you, if we do not know where we come from, we are cursed to be oppressed by people who we are not a part of.
Now, you know what, I've been asking you questions for almost 20 minutes. Is there a specific message that you want to put out to the people that's looking at you in Asia, Africa, the UK, Central America, and Canada?
Yes.
In the Middle East.
We are the problem. We are the problem because we have not galvanized and got together with you. The world is at a standstill because you are looking for me and I am looking for you. If we continue to go about this world and lie to our children and our grandchildren and let this beast continue this lie, when you have children and they ask you, Santa Claus, where's Santa Claus? And you say, well, it's good for his imagination. When we practice the things that they practice, which are totally make-believe and made up, we are lying to our children and we are deceiving them. We're perpetuating a generation who will come back to you, look you in the face, and hate you because they say, why didn't you tell me the truth? Why did you lie to me? And we are responsible for not lying to our children anymore.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
And Assalamu alaikum.
Alhamdulillah.
And you know what, I want to thank you for sending me to do the interview. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. But I guess it was in divine order.
It's in divine.
I ain't not guess. I know it was in divine order because it's happening.
Well, Yahweh loves you, so do I.
All right. Assalamu alaikum.